Chaos is erupting across the U.S. as President Donald Trump forges ahead with his military-style raids on immigrants. What started as peaceful anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles has now cascaded into nationwide demonstrations, strict curfews, mass arrests, and crackdowns. Here's more. In early June, California's most populous city began to face a series of shocks. On June 6th, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers launched military-style raids across LA, arresting 44 people. By June 8th, the arrest numbers surged to 118. Immigrant communities were left terrified and traumatized.
We are not criminals. We are working people, and we are not a trash can for the president.
Thousands of Angelenos flooded the streets in protest. Instead of initiating dialogue, President Donald Trump made a startling decision. He deployed 2,000 National Guard troops directly onto the streets of LA, openly defying California Governor Gavin Newsom's objections. June 9th, hundreds of troops patrolled the city, joined by 700 U.S. Army Marines brought in from a military base in nearby 29 Palms, without coordination, permission, or legal justification. Protesters perceived it as an intimidation tactic to silence them. Chaos erupted as highways were blocked, cars burned, and calls grew louder to stop ICE raids. The response from authorities has been brutal, firing tear gas into crowds, choking protesters, firing rubber bullets, striking civilians, and launching flashbangs that caused panic. Even a journalist covering the protest was shot by a rubber bullet. California's leaders swiftly condemned Trump's actions as illegal and undemocratic, yet the president remains unapologetic.
And some of the radical left, they say, oh, that's not nice. Well, if we didn't do it, there wouldn't be a Los Angeles. It'd be burning today.
The pattern is not unfamiliar. In 2018, Trump's administration separated migrant children from their families and placed them in detention facilities. In 2020, Trump cleared peaceful protesters from Washington, D.C.'s Lafayette Square using tear gas to stage a photo outside a church. Now, in 2025, we are seeing what many are calling the open militarization of federal policy in U.S. cities. And history offers a grim warning. When soldiers are sent into the streets, civilians pay the price. In 1970, 4 students were killed by National Guard troops at Kent State University in Ohio. In 1992, over 60 people died during military-backed responses to the Rodney King riots. In 2020, at least 25 protesters were killed during demonstrations following the murder of George Floyd after federal forces were deployed.
No KKK, no fascist USA! No KKK, no fascist USA!
By the afternoon of June 9th, protests against ICE flared across the country, from San Francisco and Sacramento to Houston, Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, and Atlanta. In New York, activists staged sit-ins at Trump Tower, demanding justice and an end to ICE raids. Atlanta, Chicago, Seattle, Denver, and other cities followed suit. In the U.S., free assembly is a right, but boots on the ground tramples that right, creating a powder keg that could spark a civil war.